All right, woodworkers, if you are a beginning woodworker looking for a nice simple project, or you're looking for something for your CTE students, this is the basic Bluebird Birdhouse. I'm gonna walk you through the easiest way to make this. It's 7 cuts and a hole. When we get to the end, I'm gonna talk to you about things you can do to make this birdhouse last longer and address some of the things that people are probably gonna wanna comment on during the video. Hopefully I'll hit it all at the end. Let's get started. All right, so I've got my cedar fence picket, and we're gonna make some very basic cuts here. So the first one I wanna do is cut the back piece of the birdhouse, which that's just gonna be a 16-inch cut. So I'm literally just gonna measure out 16 inches, make a mark, and make that first cut. First piece is done. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is probably the hardest cut on here actually. I'm gonna make 2 measurements. I'm gonna measure up one side of the board to 10 inches. Make a little mark there. I'm gonna measure on the other side of the board across from that 10-inch mark, but I'm only gonna measure 9 inches. All right, so I have a mark 10 inches here, 9 inches here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a line that connects those 2 spots. So I'm just gonna grab a straight edge, which for me, I'll just use that first piece I cut, and I'm gonna make that mark. So there is my line from 10 inches to 9 inches. Now, if you're using a handsaw, this is as simple as lining it up there and cutting it. I'm using a miter saw, so what I have to do is actually find the angle on the saw, and here's how I like to do that. My miter saw has a light on it, so I turn on the light, I stick the board underneath it, more. And what I do is I will kind of turn this, hand not near the trigger, hand just on the handle here, and I'll kind of turn it until it matches that angle, which is right there. So that is just about 11 degrees. All right, so 11 degrees will give me that cut, and I am going to make that cut. Now, what this is one of the sides. So if you think about it, this birdhouse is going to slope. So if you think about what I have left over here, I have my other angle already cut. That angle matches. So all I have to do now is make the cut here. So I could just trace that line, or what I like to do is I'll just bring the saw down most of the way, slide, after I put back to 0. This is a regular straight cut. Slide it till it just touches that board and make that cut. So we're getting close to this. If you're liking this video, be sure to like, subscribe. Let's get back to it. Now, I have 2 identical pieces here. So that gives me my back and my 2 sides. So next thing I'll do is cut the roof. The roof is going to be 7.5 inches. Let's measure out to 7.5, make my mark, and make my cut. Right, the next one I'm going to do is cut the floor, which is just going to be 4 inches. And then the last piece I need to cut is my front, which will be 9 inches. And that leaves me this leftover. Now hold on to that leftover right now, because I'm going to show you something when we get to the bottom piece. The standard measurement used there is 4 inches, but that can vary depending on the thickness of your wood and how you want it to line up. So just keep this handy, and we'll come back to that in a minute. All right, so I have my front piece right here. This was that 9-incher, and what I want to do is decide where the hole is going to go. So what I go for is the center of the hole to be 6.5 inches up from the bottom and then centered. So again, the center can vary slightly depending on the exact piece of wood you're using. So this piece of wood I have is right at 5.5. So that's an easy one. Half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. So I'm gonna make a little mark right in the center there. And I'm gonna measure up 6.5 inches, which is right there. So I actually nailed that perfectly. So 6.5 inches up, and then find your center, and I just put a little mark there. So that is going to be where the center of my drill bit goes. Now, if this is a Bluebird house, you're usually going to use a 1.5 inch Forstner bit. So your circle is going to be something like this. So when I say a Forstner bit, I'm talking about one of these things right here. All right, this is 1.5 inches. This is a pretty new one. It should give me a nice clean cut. And this is going to go, again, right with the center of it will line up with that mark I just made. So one important thing to keep in mind when you are doing this is that you always want to have a piece of wood underneath the piece that you're drilling. And the reason for that is that when you use that big Forstner bit and it comes through the back, it can cause quite a bit of blowout. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a piece of scrap wood underneath this. So when I drill through, I want it to go through the piece of the birdhouse and into that next one. So I'm gonna set my depth on here so that it does that. That looks beautiful. And you can see it went through because this is the cedar, and then you can see the pine that started coming through. So it just touched that, and hopefully that meant it didn't have too bad of a blowout. Let's see. That is beautiful. All right, otherwise it can blow all the way out to here and get pretty messed up. Now, in all honesty, if that happens, just put that on the inside of the birdhouse. The birds aren't gonna care. All right, so let's look at assembly here. Let's make sure I have all the pieces right. This one that still has the dog ears, my extra piece. My biggest piece is the back. My 2 angled pieces are my side ones. That 4-inch piece is the bottom, so it goes between those. And the one with the hole is obviously the front. And the other piece is the roof. And that makes a birdhouse. How do we actually put it together? So, glue and nails. I'm gonna use a nail gun. If you don't have a nail gun, you don't have to. If you're using something bigger than brad nails, you can probably get away without the glue, but I'm using brad nails, so I'm gonna use glue with it. Now, here's how I like to put it together. First thing I do is my bottom and side pieces. And I mentioned before, saving that scrap piece. Here's why I said that. So when you look at my 2 side pieces in the bottom here, if I put these flush up against each other the best I can, you can see that wood had a little bit of cupping in it.
But I go all the way to one edge there.
I'm not flush on the other edge. I've got a space over here because those measurements typically work best with a 3/4 inch piece of wood. This isn't a full 3/4 of an inch thick. So here's what you do to make sure your floor actually fits perfectly if you want the pieces all the way out to the side. Could I do it like this? Absolutely. I wouldn't have it all the way to one side like that. I would kind of center it, and there is nothing wrong with that. But if you really want to make sure these are flush even with the side, what you do is you take your 2 sides that you cut, you put them up against one side of the board, and then you measure that distance. That distance is what this should be, because those 2 sides plus this should get you to the edge. You can see I'm a little bit short using the 4 inches. So just an option for you. Again, I'm perfectly fine with doing the 4 inches, and I'll have like a 1/16 of an inch extra on each side. I think it works perfectly fine. What I'm going to do is for this bottom piece, blow glue on each edge. Not too much, I don't want it oozing out, because I don't want to have to do a bunch of sanding. I personally like to keep the birdhouses with this rough look. Think about it, it's for a bird. They live in the trees. It should probably feel kind of like a tree. Just my thought. All right, make sure you have it so that these are facing the same way with the angle. So I'm gonna have the short side on the top, long side on the bottom, and I'm just going to put those right on there. And I am using 1-inch brad nails. So what I'm gonna do is make sure my top is lined up really well when I pop in that first nail. And then I'm gonna focus on the bottom being lined up and pop in the bottom one. And now I'll do the other side. Same thing, focus on the top first. And then up to the bottom. So, there's that. Now what I'm gonna do is the higher end, the back there, I'm gonna put glue here, and I'm gonna attach this to the back piece. All right, what I like to do is there's no set location you have to put this. Like down at the bottom, up near the top, in the middle. I kind of go where there's probably about 2 inches to 3 inches open on the bottom, so like here-ish. I think down here, when you go all the way to the bottom, it looks a little weird, and anything above the middle, I think, looks awkward. So I kind of go down most of the way. Again, I probably about 1.5 inches there. I think that looks good. And I want that right there. And I'm gonna pop in nails from the back. So I know that I want that little bit of a gap right there because of the way my floor worked out. That leaves me a little bit of a gap on this side. And I still have a little flexibility here. All right, so I'm gonna make sure that's right where I want it. So I'm seeing where the back is, keeping that gap consistent. I'm gonna pop that in. So what I've got now is this. The sides and the bottom are attached to the back. Now I'm gonna put on the front. Again, I'm just gonna put some glue here. And this will line up right at the bottom. Let that go all the way up. And again, just like I had that little lip on the bottom, I'm gonna have that same little lip up here because it's off the same board. And that's all good. Always check to make sure you don't have a bunch of nails sticking out. I had some students make this last year where they probably used about 100 nails. When I looked on the inside, it looked like one of those Iron Maiden things. The birds would have definitely died if they went inside of it. Now, here is where you have a big option. I've talked to a lot of people that build birdhouses. Some people say you do not need a way to clean it out. They're like, I swear I've never cleaned it out and birds come back every year. Other people say they will not buy a birdhouse unless it has a clean out. So here's the 2 ways students do this. 1, you can put some glue on here, stick your top on, nail it down, boom, you're done. The other way is to get a couple little hinges and put the hinges up here so that this can then open up. There's also a place here where you can make this look a little bit nicer if you want to. If you remember, we had about an 11-degree angle right here. If you have a miter saw that bevels, you could put an 11-degree angle right here. And what that will do is instead of sitting with that little gap right there, that would sit flush. All right, so you wouldn't have that gap there. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with gaps in a birdhouse. You want some, just like you want a little bit of a gap here, because you need some airflow. If there's no airflow, the birds are going to overheat. I live in Virginia, they're going to get cooked. What some people actually do afterwards is they'll even drill some holes in the bottom just to allow water to drain and to allow some more airflow. You could even make this front piece a little bit longer, and that way this would sit up a little bit higher and create a bigger gap. The hotter the area you're in, the bigger the gap you want, because you want that hot air to be able to escape. So for this one, I'm not gonna take this back to the miter saw. I'm just gonna sand this a little bit, make it sit a little bit more flush, and then I am going to put some hinges on it so this can open and close. I just got over to the sander and I had a change of heart. I was gonna sand it and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna leave it with the gap because I really wanna make sure there's that airflow. I did have some eggs get a little too hot a couple years ago and they never hatched. I wanna avoid that, so I'll leave the gap. Water can trickle through, which people are like, no, don't do that. But I'll put a few drain holes in the bottom, and you know what? They're used to living in trees. Birds live outside. They're gonna be okay. Just make sure they don't get cooked. So I personally love this little box of hinges. I got these off Amazon. It was pretty cheap. I'll make sure it's linked below. But you get a bunch of hinges for not a lot of money. Now, they're not the biggest, strongest hinges in the world, but they work great for like little boxes and things like this birdhouse. So what I'm gonna do is just set that where I want it. And I'm gonna set the hinges where I want them, which I'll come in a little over 1/2 inch from each side. And you get to decide, you know, exactly where you want these, how symmetrical you wanna make it. You could measure. I'm just gonna kind of eye it here. Now for these little screws, you really do want to use the pointiest Phillips bit that you have. And if you have one that has a good point on it, it'll hold right onto those, just like that. All right, so that's what I'm gonna go with. But since these are very tiny hinges, and again, these are not the sturdiest things in the world, you gotta make sure you don't use a lot of power. Go nice and gentle with it. All right, so I'm gonna just be nice and easy while I put these screws in. And as soon as I finish this, I wanna talk to you about a few more things that can really make the difference and take your birdhouse to the next level. Let me just get these in real quick. All right, so there it is. Hinged, it's beautiful, opens, it closes. So, what are some things that preemptively I'm gonna tell you people are probably gonna say in the comments? One, what about the perch? Again, very mixed views on perches. Most people I know who are really into birdhouses say you do not want one. They say that it makes it easier for predators to get in. It kind of gives them something to help them inside. The birds don't need it. The birds can fly right in. The size hole you use dictates what type of bird is in there. So if you want to put a perch on because you think it looks good, go right ahead. But functionally, from what I've been told, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Another big thing is for the hole right here, the metal guards. Here's a picture of what happens when you don't use one of those metal guards. So squirrels did that. That was one of my birdhouses. So what that metal guard does is it gives a protection around here where the squirrels can't eat through the wood and get inside of it, whether they're just trying to take over the house or something is trying to get to the eggs, whatever's going on. So I'll link those also. There's different sizes, so you have to look carefully. If you're doing this house, I used a 1.5 inch Forstner bit. Make sure you get the 1.5 inch openings. If you're doing a house for like chickadees, I have another video on chickadees. I'll post that somewhere at the end of this video. They usually use a 1 1/8 inch hole. So make sure you get the right size that fits for the birdhouses that you are building. And again, if you don't have enough of an opening up here, you can see I have a pretty nice gap the way that rests. That should let some air out. There's nothing wrong with drilling a couple of holes in it, maybe on the back where it's, depending on how you're gonna mount it, or up at the top, you want something to let that air out. And if you have rain that might be getting in, take an 1/8 inch drill bit or maybe a little bigger and just drill a few holes in the bottom so that when rain does get in there, it can come out, and also that will help with airflow. You can get some circulation going. So this is your simple birdhouse. Hopefully you found this helpful. If you love building tips, tricks, tutorials, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.